Welcome to the Play Resource Inspiration channel. Today we are making this collaged caterpillar. For this we will need from the Play Resource shop pipe cleaners, masking tape, beads, buttons, PVA glue, tissue paper, feathers, sequins, glittery paper, googly eyes. From the scrap store you will need beer tubing and newspaper. So the first step of making the caterpillar is to make the head. And I'm going to make the head by scrunching up newspaper and wrapping it around a small piece of beer tubing, fastening it with masking tape. And you can build it up and making sure that I'm not covering the end of the beer tubing. We need to have those holes free. So at the end, they can all be strung together. I find it easy to have the masking tape already on the table within reach. I also find that little hands have problems ripping the masking tape, so it's handy to have it already in small pieces. And there we have the head. And now we're ready to move on to the next step. The next stage is to put the antennae on the caterpillar. To do this, we're going to use a long pipe cleaner, and we're going to fasten it down on top of the head with a piece of masking tape. The reason that I'm using masking tape to stick the pipe cleaner on is that the glue won't hold it. The pipe cleaner is too heavy for the glue to hold and it would just fall off. You can give the ends of the pipe cleaner a wee twist just to make them look pretty. And there we go. The theme of the caterpillar is a fantastic one to use in a group. It can tie in with lots of different things. It can tie in with the Eric Carle story of the hungry caterpillar. It can tie in with spring, with caterpillars turning into butterflies, or it can tie in with a general mini beasts theme. The next stage is to decorate our caterpillar's head. We need to get the glue to the right consistency, which would be a runny yogurt consistency. If the glue's too thick, it's too hard to spread. If the glue is too thin, it's not sticky enough to stick the tissue paper down. This can get quite messy, and we're going to stick down the pieces of tissue paper onto the caterpillar's head. You can choose whatever colour of tissue paper you want. There we go. One very handsome caterpillar head. The next step is to decorate the caterpillar's head. If you think the caterpillar's head is too dry, we can add some more glue to make it nice and sticky. And then we can use different things to decorate. Cut up bits of wool, we've got some feathers, we've got some sparkly paper, we've got sequins, and we've got glitter. The important thing is to remember that everything has to be cut up quite small, so it's not too heavy and it will fasten down with the glue and not fall off. So when we've got the glue on, we can then start to stick down and decorate. The very last thing we're going to do is to add 2 googly eyes to the front of the caterpillar's head so we can see where he's going. This needs to be left to dry overnight somewhere nice and warm. Using the same technique as I did the head, I have made a small segment of the caterpillar. It's a little bit smaller and it's more of an oval shape rather than a round football shape. And I have decorated it with some smaller pipe cleaners stuck down with masking tape. I'm now going to decorate it in exactly the same way with the tissue paper, glue and all the bits and pieces. If you had a lot of kids in your group, each one could make their own segment. They could use a different colour for each segment, or they could all use the same colour. Like with the head, the segments need to be left somewhere warm to dry overnight. Final stage is to assemble our caterpillar. You'll notice that I have made 2 more segments just to give our caterpillar a longer body. What we're going to do is we're going to thread the head and the segments onto a pipe cleaner. So we need to measure the length of the caterpillar. Looks like we're going to need at least 2 pipe cleaners. We can twist the ends of the pipe cleaners together. And we're going to add a bead or a button for the caterpillar's nose to the end of the pipe cleaner. You can use any kinds of buttons or beads as long as the hole is big enough. This will stop the head sliding off the end of the pipe cleaners. And we feed it through all the way. If you want, you can put a bead or a button between each segment just to make it look nice. When we get to the end, we can add another button or a bead to make the caterpillar's tail, and this will stop the last segment sliding off the end of the pipe cleaner. So just to finish off, give the pipe cleaner a little twist. You can cut the taily bit off if you want. And there's our lovely caterpillar all finished. Everything I used to make the caterpillar can be found at the Play Resource.